folks, it's me, Kristen Hamilton, back with making some spaghetti. First, what you want to do is take a pot about so big, add some water to it. About 2 cups of water. Turn the fire on medium heat. Then you want to make sure that you open your package of ground beef. And what you also want to do is turn on, say, 10 minutes. The water will be finished. What am I doing? You're going to let the water boil. Bring a large pot of water to a boil in a large skillet. Then you can ground the meat, which that's what I'm about to do, because I'm making spaghetti, or cooking spaghetti. I'm not making it because it's not inside of a machine. Then you want to turn this fire on medium. And what you want to do is cook the ground beef for like 7 minutes. You want to make sure that you take all the meat out this package. Throw it in the trash. Get your spatula. Looks like I should have got a little bit more meat. Make sure that all the meat is turning brown. It's going to turn brown from pink. That's how you know the meat is ready. Oh man, this is definitely not enough. Take your knife to make sure you take it off your spatula so that it all cooks. At the same time, you can season your meat with your pepper. Put your seasoning salt on here. This is terrible. I did not get enough food. Now take the camera over so you can see the ground meat cooking, slowly cooking. And when it gets a little bit more, this is why I need a new camera. Or I should say, this is why I need a real camera. Right now I'm just using my camera phone, which is not good at all. Bring 4 to 6 quarts of water to a boil. Add salt to taste, then add pasta. So we got about 7 minutes left for the water to boil. It's about 10 minutes. This is how you know when the water is boiling. The bubbles will be popping up. Then you can throw the noodles inside. But also, you have to keep moving this meat around so that it all cooks. I cannot believe how much meat is in this pan. And I have to take out my other one. I'm going to have to add to it tomorrow. My son will tear up this food. Cook the meat. Show you what the food looks like. Oh, there is, wow, this is not good at all. I mean, the food is good, but this camera is not very good. Not what I need to show. That's why tomorrow I'm going to buy me a real camera. A real video camera. Because this one is not doing much of anything. See the meat, how it's turning brown? That means it's cooking all the way. Let's see if I can do this. Oh yeah, that's good. That way it shows me actually cooking. Not like I wasn't cooking before. It usually takes about 15 minutes to cook the ground beef to make sure all the pink is out. Because you don't want to eat any meat that's not cooked. That's not very healthy. Matter of fact, this day and age, a lot of people are going vegetarian because they say cows are not good, and all these other animals that we get our food from, our steak, our fish, chicken, pig, pork. Nobody wants to eat pork anymore. It's funny how back in the 70s and the 80s, everybody love eating them some pork chops. Love eating bacon. Love eating ham. Now, nobody wants to eat it. Everybody wants to be a vegetarian. Well, I don't know about me being a vegetarian, but I prefer to eat some steak, chicken, bacon, pork. As soon as my little alarm goes off, it'll let me know that this water over here is boiling. And I can put the fettuccine noodles in there. Fettuccine, just about all the same as spaghetti. Macaroni and cheese. The macaroni that you use for the macaroni and the cheese, that's the same thing as pasta. All you have to do is put it in the sauce. Make little different characters out of everything different. That way you know that it looks different. Macaroni and cheese, fettuccine, lasagna. Well, lasagna is a little bit different actually, because that's flat. They roll it up like a tamale. Hey, that's what I should have a lesson on, tamales. No. I don't even know how to make a tamale. Well, food looks about done. See? Nice and brown. As soon as it's all totally cooked, then I'll take a strainer and pour the meat out so that have the grease all out, because you don't need it to be eating any meat with grease in it, because then that'll give you heartburn, and it's not good to have heartburn. That's for sure. Just make sure another couple of minutes, this will be done. Woo! I'm tired. Just did a 10-hour day at work. No, take that back. An 8-hour shift. 8 hours and 30 minutes in. I am very, very tired. Alright, we got a few seconds counting. And if you can see this smoke from the water that's in the pot, that's also to let me know that the water is done. It's ready for the noodles to get inside the water pot. Now what we're going to do is move this around so you can, trash cans right here by the way folks. Now what we're going to do is turn the fire off, take the, strainer. Well, before we put the strainer on there, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to put the noodles. No, we'll do this first. I'm going to take the strainer. And what you're going to do is take the meat. This is what I prefer. I'm going to show you what the trash can looks like. You can take the trash can, place a paper bag inside the plastic, therefore the oil won't go through the bag. The grease will be sticking to this paper bag. This is what I learned when I was a little bit younger. I've been cooking for a very long time. Take the bag, put it inside of the bag, and as you notice, it's not going to be touching the trash can because that's not very sanitary. So then what you want to do is take the meat, pour it over in the trash can. What you're going to do is pour it inside the strainer so that the strainer catches all the meat and it doesn't touch the trash can. Alright, I'll show it to you. Live action of what the food is doing right now. It's sitting. See, it's sitting on the bag that's actually placed inside the trash can. Therefore, all the grease is going inside the paper bag, and then the oil. So, see it? It's all dripping out into the trash. Then after that, then you put the food back in the skillet. Oh, it's dropping, it's dropping. Put that back in there. Now we're going to take the noodles. I think I'll turn this around so that you guys can see cooking the noodles better at. See all the steam? That lets you know that the water is ready for the noodles. Then you're going to take the noodles. Some people like the noodles long. I like them short. And don't say it takes the fun out of having spaghettis, because it doesn't. It's all going in the same place, all going in your mouth. You're going to swallow it, and it's going somewhere else. I'm not going to talk about right now. So, all you want to do is get you some fettuccine or lasagna, spaghetti. You want to use half of it, because it's just me and my son. Uh-oh, I'm making a mess. Break them in half. That'll be enough just for him and me. Turn off this fire because I don't need it right now. And also what I'm going to do is take the food. Oh Okay, heat oil. I have to put some oil in there. Takes 12 minutes, so then I want to put this timer back on for 12 minutes. And I need to put some olive oil. I don't have any olive oil. A large skillet, heat oil, olive oil, and gently saute onions. Oh, well, I'm not doing any of that because I'm not putting onions in my food because my son doesn't like onions. But at the end, we will be using this Italian sausage with peppers and onions, so I guess he will be having onions. It'll just be in this. Now, what I also need to do is get an opener, which I have this. Hey, remember seeing one of these back in, I don't know, 70s or 80s? This came from my grandmother. So you just open it, open the spaghetti sauce. Uh-oh, come on. Open the spaghetti sauce. I won't be using all of it, but I will be using half of it. I'm going to pour it over in my pot. I'm going to pour it over in the pot. I'm going to mix it up. Mix it up with the meat. The meat is already hot, so you really don't need to turn the fire back on. But sometimes it doesn't help. I mean, sometimes it does help to turn the fire on for like 5 minutes so you can kind of saute those tomatoes that are in here. And then a lot of times you want, let me see, I need to put just a little bit more. Oh, this is why I need a camera. A real video camera. This is not working out for me. Holding the camera with one hand and clicking and making sure that just leave that on there. Don't need any more spaghetti sauce. But as you see, the noodles are cooking. It's going to take about 12 minutes for it to cook. And I'll show you the finished product as soon as it's finished cooking. Oh, why am I having such a bad time with this? Also, get some tongs. Woohoo! Tongs. Ha! Lord, I keep saying that. That's terrible. I'm not ghetto, so I don't know why I would be saying that, but you want to take this and move this around a little bit so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Also, what you want to do is take you some, some salt. You don't want a lot. Just want about a half a teaspoon. Oh, great. Where is it? Where is it? Just a little bit. Put a little bit in your hand. Maybe like this much. Pour it in here. So it makes your noodles white and they don't stick. About 12 minutes it'll be all done. Then you can put them together. Some people like having spaghetti on the meat on top of the spaghetti. Some people like putting the spaghetti in with the pot, which that's what I like doing. That way you could all keep it all together. And this is for Wednesday night's dinner. And what do you know? My son is not even here to get it. So I guess that means he might be eating leftovers, which a lot of time he doesn't like eating, but hey, he won't know it's a leftover. For him, he'll think it's the same night I cooked it. Wow, that's crazy. How a lot of people were brought up to eat food, and if there's food left over the next day, you eat it. Sometimes you could be eating the same meal for a whole week. But I don't think anybody would want to eat a meal for a whole week, the same thing every single day. So if you can afford to, have spaghetti for Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, go out to eat some fish, go to the restaurant. You'll be able to save some money every day by buying food twice a month, possibly on your paydays. Go out and splurge yourself, buy you some steaks, or go out and eat. Or buy something good for yourself. Like say if there's some Jordans that just came out, like Jordan 11, go out and buy you a pair. But don't go out and buy you a pair if you know you got rent to pay, you have a phone to pay, you have gas and electric to pay, you have a car note to pay. If you know you have all those special needs that you have to pay for, don't go out and buy some Jordans. Just do yourself a favor and pay all your bills first. Alright, we have about 5 minutes left for this. So, in the meantime, it's good to stay in the kitchen so you can watch the food. Sometimes it's good to have a TV in here. Sometimes it's good to text message if you want to. Well, you can't text if you have a camera phone. Then you won't be able to videotape, but that's why it's good to invest in a good camera where you can take your video of most of the kitchen, be able to get down to the food so you can actually see it changing colors, and the temperature on the stove is on medium. Whew. I'm so beat. So you could actually cover your meat, and if you have some bread, you could put some bread in the toaster or put it in the oven with some garlic butter on it on the top. Put it in for like 7 minutes probably, or 5 minutes, and you have garlic bread. And if you have Parmesan cheese, you could also use that on top of your spaghetti. But considering I don't have any, I won't be using Parmesan cheese. But if you have regular cheese, you could always put some cheese on top of your spaghetti, which is always a good idea to do. Whew, I know I am going to bed after I eat my food. Oh, and if you're wondering what my shirt says, it says, "No color lines. Judgment of character, not skin tone." I like wearing shirts like this so people will know I'm not a, ignorant person. That's what we need to change in 2012. We need to not be ignorant to things. You need to make sure that you are aware of things. Go places, go out of your zone. Don't just stay in Los Angeles. If you want to go to a different area, go to a different area so that you see how they treat people. They treat people very nice in all areas. And if you're not too sure where you can go, different places to go, you can go to Santa Monica Place, where they have all kind of like karaoke and walking. You can't smoke on the promenade. No smoking. If you smoke out there, you will get a ticket. You'll be cited. You could also go to the Beverly Center. You can go to Fox Hills Mall. Go to Del Amo Mall, Cerritos Mall, Lakewood Mall. Let's see. Baldwin Hills Mall, Glendale Mall. See if I remember all these places that I've had a job at. You could go to the Staples Center. You could watch the LA Laker game, the Clippers game, the Sparks game, arena football, LA Kings. You can go ice skating. They have ice skating on ice in Pershing Square, which is downtown Los Angeles. You could also go to Irvine, Spectrum in Orange County. You can go to Fashion Island and oh boy, that's Orange County also. You can go to the Block at the Grove. It's on 3rd and Fairfax. There's so many places to go to in Los Angeles. Alright, we got about 45 seconds left and we will be able to eat the food. And this is what the noodles look like when they're almost done. They're white. Well, actually they're kind of yellow. But the whiteness usually happens when you're, after you take them out and pour them out of the water. And that's another thing we're going to need the strainer with. We're going to need the strainer to strain out the water out of the noodles so that you could pour the noodles in the skillet with the ground beef. Alright, that's to let you know that it's done. Now this time you're going to take the noodles, pour it out in the sink because you don't need to have the water in the can. Mix it around, pour it out. Whew. Now pour this inside. Now I'm going to put the skillet in the sink. Ooh, look at that food. Nice and hot. Now all you got to do is mix up the meat with the spaghetti noodles. Some people like to eat it like this. Some people just like, for some reason, having their food in 2 different locations. One in a plate and one in a bowl. To me, that's just ridiculous. Oh boy. Mix it all up. Mix it all up. Alright folks, find a plate for it. This is a nice plate. It says Bueno San Remo Italia pasta. Hey, what do you know? And I made pasta. So all you gotta do is take the pasta, put it in a bowl with your noodles and your ground beef. Might want to use a spatula. And there you have it. There's your spaghetti. Good.